is a rematch of last season's Grand Finals. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Complexity versus Team Dignitas. Only one team findable carpet can take on NRG.
Dignitas getting closer to the form we're looking to see them in. K-Dop starting to really ramp up. Turbo Pulsar right now tied in LAN performance for goals per game with none other than Garrett G with 1 goal per game, which is actually insane, especially with this much stress on the line.
Both these teams have got all-stars all over the pitch. Really, it's going to be a case of who can step up and who can execute their game plan. And this is going to be important because Dignitas have finally started to get their game plan working. Now that K-Dop is starting to find better positions, he has been much more threatening across the field. But on the other side, we've really seen Magnus play to a whole new level to how we've ever seen him before.
Day one for Complexity, a lot scored pretty much every single goal for them, but now it's turning around. Magnus is ramping up. He's now number 2 in goals per game. Gonna see if he can beat out Turbo Pulsar in this series.
But we're gonna start ourselves off. Ball currently floating towards the orange side of the field, an attempted block there from a lot. Magnus, another flick, just trying to keep the pressure away from their side to start off the matchup. There's going to be a shot, incredible! Just to start us off, Magnus strikes.
He hasn't slowed down much. He's going to open up immediately. This pass from Metzenauer straight into Magnus. You can see how fast he got up for it, trying to keep it just out of reach of K-Dop. He's a strong defender, but against a Magnus shot,
definitely didn't stand a chance. He jumped, he hoped, and he didn't ever get there. Complexity starting off 1-0 up, but it is early running in our opening match. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is a best of 7. This can go incredibly long depending on how these two teams play. That's going to go off the backboard. Turbo can't quite get that follow-up from a lot. 2 goals to 0.
Punishing the early mistakes. The high pass, forcing the boost. Metzenauer, he's still only scored 1 goal here at LAN, but he has, before coming into this series, 0.93 assists per game. He is setting up Magnus and a lot to get those shots that they've been getting.
If you were after a goal scoring ratio, he wouldn't be at the top. If you're after goal participation, he'd be right up there. Metzenauer, the playmaker currently for Complexity, the only team that has ever lost an upper bracket final, managed to bounce back and make it into the ground final. They're looking to try and repeat history yet again. Metzenauer back down to a teammate. Just launching long. So Lot can't quite get there. 2 players committed. Opportunity for a breakaway. A Lot will be by himself as he has got Turbo coming straight towards him. Shot is taken. There's going to be another follow-up. K-Dop shot. Not really going to be too threatening, but he's going to stick around. How long can Complexity keep this on for? There's another miss there from a Lot. Turbo Pulsar off the crossbar, save from Magnus.
With no boost, right now 2 players struggling to have any boost at all.
Magnus has just sat on top of the big boost, hoping it was just spawn. From the looks of it, it has. Drop straight down. Turbo Pulsar will happily take that one over. Starting to play much more physical now are the defending world champions. Infield pass, Turbo Pulsar just trying to get the ball up high. Make life difficult for their opponents. Turbo wants to try and follow what's up, but Magnus just pushes to the side, buys his team a little bit of time to come in and help him out. Now Turbo once again. That's such a long period of time with the ball in the blue side, and that's going to be an own goal. Magnus into his own net.
Yeah, one of those things we don't talk about very much. Turbo Pulsar is going to get credit for this. Once that double whip happened, Magnus knew he had to react fast. I imagine Metzenauer didn't have a lot of boost. I think he did have some, so he could have probably swept that out, but he probably felt Turbo Pulsar, knew he didn't go up for that. Turbo Pulsar had 100 boost. He was about to put a lot of pressure onto it.
Well, the important thing is Dignitas have finally got themselves on the board. We've seen for quite a few teams that the ones that struggle to get themselves up early really struggle, but now the floodgates have opened. Team Dignitas have it 2 goals apiece.
And now with 2 minutes and 42 seconds, they're able to still keep it. That pass from Violent Panda, a slow challenge from, I believe, Metzenauer in net. Probably took a little bit long for that.
Complexity definitely seeming to struggle with their defense. As we head towards the second half of this game, a shot early from the kickoff. Metzenauer trying to find the corner. But Team Dignitas want to ride this wave of momentum for themselves. Magnus going to try and be a lone crusader. He's actually done pretty well set up for Metzenauer. He will be shut down by 2 players heading towards him. Very low boost. K-Dot gonna leave it for Violent Panda. Another long clear. Violent Panda turns himself around, puts it on target, and now K-Dot's still around. Over to Violent Panda. Team Dignitas are really starting to step up.
That'll be 3 goals in what, about a minute?
It's not been long at all.
Minute and a half, maybe? Violent Panda, again, trying to take advantage instead of wasting time to retreat and go all the way back. Tries to get a couple of bumps, goes for the maybe boost steal. Ends up helping his team secure a goal.
Remember, Team Dignitas is the team coming in off the win. Complexity trying to break the skid. This will be their 5th loss in a row. As Magnus tries to play over the top. Straight over to the far side. Turbo Pulsar clears away, but that is a double commit. Violent Panda keeps himself going. That could have been dangerous, but Violent Panda, with incredible mechanics, keeps it away.
It really saved him and Turbo Pulsar from a risky situation. But would have left K-Dot alone on defense.
Turbo trying to go around. Will be left with Violent Panda. You can see K-Dot already traveling up the wall. Does not want any of that, though. The infield pass will not find Magnus. Complexity with their first bit of offense in quite some time in this game. He's going to go all the way up to the middle. Magnus probably can't create a shot here, but he does have a lot over in support. Pass intercepted. Magnus with the flick up. Turbo Pulsar has to dodge one, but the shot never going to be all that difficult. Now 1 minute remaining. Complexity trying to tie up this match. Metza trying for a forced push. Turbo has to try and get a block. He's done well enough. Complexity have got full control of these mid boosts, but that mistake right there could very well put an end to this offense. But Team Dignitas have got everybody on the goal line. And now a drop down from Turbo. So close. Another goal could very well end this game. Now it's going to be on target, off the post. Oh, it's not in yet, off the crossbar now. And now the rotation back. This is an opportunity for Complexity, but they can't set themselves up. More time wasted.
Complexity just can't get enough boost for a counterattack. A lot's going to be able to smack this back, but ooh, the dunk over Violent Panda followed by a shot.
And a lot was on that backboard. We've seen how dangerous he can be from there this entire season long. Now Turbo taking time. Almost taking a little bit too much. Violent Panda almost got his attempted clear blocked. Now K-Dot straight back down. All the way over to Metanoris. Shot not there. Magnus credited with the save. Or the shot, I should say. Now all the way back up. They have to keep this one alive. A lot's going to keep following. That's going to touch. A lot. Are you real?
He always finds the angles. Just when his team needs it, they were 2 up. Brings him into overtime in the 0-second goal.
A lot just blew the roof off the copper box. And now it is all to play for. 3 goals apiece. A lot tries to go for the block. Instead, it's going to go all the way out. This is going to be a midfield battle between the 2 teams. Magnus looking for boost. Now they're going to try and rotate back. Turbo Pulsar with the flick on. Everyone from Complexity not willing to commit just yet. We've seen them play a lot of defense so far this tournament. And now he's got it on his hood. I don't think Team Dignitas want to see any of a lot with that ball right now. He has already shown how dangerous he can be. There's going to be no one around for that. Turbo Pulsar plays to the far side. Wants to try and give his team a little bit of time. Reboost, reposition, but they might not have too much time for it. Double commit, could drop down a lot. Has the ball moved away from him by Magnus, but still the pressure is on. As Violent Panda over to the side, K-Dot straight down the line. He's got Turbo Pulsar who can now take over. K-Dot is still around to be passed to. That's going to be straight down, but a lot already there. Just going to try and put a little bit of pressure on right now. Magnus wanted to try and find his teammate, immediately shut down. Now K-Dot's touch can make this very difficult to deal with. Magnus trying to find the pass. This is going to be a complete cluster. A lot! Sends it high. And now we go to the other end of the field. 2v1, but K-Dot's flick not good enough.
Dignitas, a little bit slower than we usually see, trying to play it safe in this golden goal situation.
K-Dot, far side. Turbo Pulsar taking too much time, but didn't get a good enough bit of contact. Magnus gets the block. This is a great goal scoring opportunity, but a lot just too far forward, and there's a big block. Nobody on the goal line. That was crucial for Team Dignitas. And we saw this a lot last season. Overtime's taking forever, and this one is a phenomenal save. Is there a follow-up? Metanaris with the save, another one.
With no boost, somehow Magnus can reach for that save.
Shows how much these teams want this. They're going for everything. Now Metanaris, he's got 2v1. Will they be able to do it? It's not there. He had two options. It doesn't look like he really went for either of them.
Keeping it high, trying to force Dignitas to use the boost.
Finally, a slowdown in play. Turbo trying to force the boost out from Complexity. But incredible play there up on the wall from Metanaris. Turbo, challenged by Magnus, gets over the top, and that could be dangerous, but nobody around. Cleared, straight back to the middle. Big block there from Turbo Pulsar. And now a lot, tries to take an early shot. This is much more demo attempts we're seeing out of Complexity than I don't think I've ever seen out from them previously. Turbo leaving. One mistake off that backboard could leave it completely open. Turbo now, trying to follow up his own touch, but there is still enough boost, but they might be getting bled out right now. Complexity needs to get this away, and they look like they almost have. Yes, they will. Magnus is up. 3 minutes of overtime played. How long can this go on for? As a lot tries to replicate what he did earlier on.
Both teams riding that fine line of either trying to keep up the midfield pressure or reset on defense and try and get a counterattack.
Panda can follow up his own touch. Big block there from a lot. This is only game number 1. We have still got a rest of a best of 7 to play. It's going to go all the way out. Metza, challenged by Violent Panda. Magnus just wants to get rid. Straight through the middle. Magnus should be able to cover this one, and he has got a few options downfield. This option is a lot. Trying to get the pass straight down. That's Metanaris to take. Everybody is committed. It's an open net. Violent Panda has saved it. How? Team Dignitas have survived a huge scare, and now they're down to the other end of the pitch.
Almost struggling for boost again. All under 20. Violent Panda finally picks up a pad.
How are we still going here? Panda puts it straight down. This is still so very dangerous as a lot. Has the shot just snatched away from him. There's complexities to work with right now. Dignitas are stuck behind the final third. It's Magnus. He's got options a lot over the top. Shooting chance. They played it to the side.
Trying to keep it out of the reach of Dignitas. 3-4 touches in a row. That'll be just off target.
Yet you can see just how quickly they can move the ball as the crowd chants us down to 5 minutes of overtime. Violent Panda. Oh, wow, that was a big demo as well. If that was on target, that could have been game over. It still could be!
5 minutes of overtime. And the only solution was a demolition on a goalie. Team Dignitas, after pushing what seemed to be one of the best volley attempts onto their net, they will survive. Turbo, look at him. He needs to relax, close his eyes, bring that heart rate down, because you've got a lot more Rocket League to play, man.
All right, should we do that again?
We have no choice.
We have absolutely no choice whatsoever. That was game number 1. And in game number 1, we saw more goals in that game than we did in any of the games we saw previously last season between these two teams. Coming out firing.
Magnus playing heavy defense. 6 saves for him, 3 shots and a single goal. A lot taking the other 2. A lot in Magnus literally splitting down the line. I think they each have just about 50% of the goals for their team. Metanaris, as we said, he has been the assist king for the team. He's only got 1 goal so far, but it doesn't seem to matter. Magnus and Alot are playing so well, why would you bother going up for the shots? Just give them the passes.
So it was a very long game for Carpet. We have to remember, there was a moment, maybe about 2 weeks ago, when Complexity were 2 goals up and looking incredibly comfortable. That is now their 5th loss in a row. And a loss like that is definitely going to hurt. They are going to need to try and bounce back here in game number 2. We are heading to Wasteland as we keep this war going. A big bump just to start us off. Metanaris Might be able to put some pressure on early on. Gonna go reverse. He has got an option over there. His option is a lot, who passes it straight back down. The team play not letting up. We saw so much of it in the last game. Up trying to just sneak it past, but just can't quite do so. Now Magnus slams himself into a lot. He's trying to avoid that in the future. Violent Panda now leaving. They want to try and give him as the option downfield, but because he's now going to start rotating back, they realize that that's just not going to quite work out. Now Metza down to Magnus yet again.
I don't know how to emphasize how impactful every touch from all 6 of these players are. You can see how powerful it is, how high they go, how strong these shots are. Will he finally? No, a lot. Tried to get it around Turbo Pulsar.
Panda plays the ball long. He's got Turbo Pulsar in and around him. However, he's going to be falling to Caleb to try and deal with this, and should be able to do so quite comfortably. All the way out to the middle. Turbo Pulsar off the backboard. Caleb's going to think better of trying to challenge that, instead starting to rotate back. A bit awkward there for Caleb. Complexity finally get the ball out from their side. Metznaris has to turn. That is going to be an opening goal. Turbo Pulsar on the board.
A minute and a half in. Turbo Pulsar will try and put himself as the top scorer right now. Metznaris not ready for that touch not to come. He figured it would go a little bit higher, it would buy him some time. But the backflip from the Dignitas player left it wide open for Turbo Pulsar.
It's now 1-0, barely 90 seconds into the match. Caleb taking the ball early, trying to make it 2. He's got Violent Panda beside him. There definitely is a thing to be said of trying to telegraph the infield pass a little bit too much and make the opponents move to an incorrect position. Straight back down, Violent Panda is there. He blasts it high. And now it might be the opportunity. If that was on target, that could have been incredibly dangerous. Caleb will be happy to see that go to the far side of his net, but now over to a lot. Doesn't make contact. Magnus is there. Top right corner.
I'd love to know how intentional this was. Magnus was waiting over there across the field. May have called off a lot, but a lot didn't get that touch. And you can see how it misdirected the entire defense. They sat and waited, trying to hope they wouldn't have to make a pre-jump, not ready for a Magnus strike from the other side.
Complexity still yet to implement that from the kickoff strategies that worked so well in day number 2. However, the offense of theirs still threatening. This could be a chance to reestablish the lead. Oh, right down the middle, Magnus. Be happy to see that bounce off the bumper of his car. Now Violent Panda wants to go up high. Magnus already on the backboard. Pushes it into the far corner as he's now got Metznaris there. That is all the pressure wilted away from this Complexity. They can now start to build themselves into a much better offensive position, especially have touches like that. Magnus wants to try and drop this straight down, and Metznaris was there.
Lots to the third, trying to keep the pressure up.
Far side, drops straight down. Magnus going to have to work so hard to try and get something out of this, but you know he can. Drops into a dangerous position, and there is Violent Panda helping his team out, sweeping away the danger.
And that's a bit of where you see these teams having expectations for each other. Everyone in Complexity figured Dignitas would make that save, so even though it drops straight in front of the net, you're not going to have a lot of support because you don't really expect that.
Now all the way up high, a lot. Able to push it aside, and he picks up some boost. Very nice foresight from him to keep himself going. Big block though, Turbo Pulsar, 0 boost. So we're going to have to rotate back, and he will. He's allowed K-Dot to move in off the backboard. How much has a lot got to do here? Flicks it over the top of Violent Panda. Big block there, could have been so dangerous. However, a lot deals with it like he's got no pressure whatsoever. Turbo goes high. Violent Panda's just going to wait for this one to come down to him. Heading to the final minute. Lack of communication there, though, from Team Dignitas means that a lot of company can try and take control, and there's going to be an open net. 2-1, Complexity.
You literally just mentioned it, Shogun, communication. And it's where you really want to avoid situations like this. Turbo and K-Dot both thinking they were the last effort. They don't want it coming off the backboard for that exact reason, but one of them should have been sitting in net.
Far side, K-Dot can get this one back nice and quick. Turbopulsar wants to try and find Violent Panda. It's going to be very difficult to do so from there. Still keeping control of their own boost. Complexity should be fine, and they have got themselves a big old clear to the other side of the field. Magnus following up. Can they make this a 2-goal lead? Metzenaris will have the chance, and he's going to nail it!
They're looking for these pulls, and they've been unanswered in that corner a lot this game. We've seen Complexity have a lot of control, pulling it around that corner, and either having the option to drop it out, drop it down, take the shot. Why not? If a lot's up there, you know he'll try.
They've got to get someone over there because Complexity are running roughshod over in the corner. Shot there from Violent Panda will probably be good enough, but he still kept control. Turbo turns himself around, but he is blocked early. Team Dignitas are still in this game, but they need to get a goal, and they need to get it fast. Played long. Metzenaris just takes his time, plays the ball high, wasting some time and some boost from Team Dignitas, but Violent Panda will keep himself going, forcing some players out, and that's going to go off the top right. Just doesn't quite sneak in, but this is going to be a drop down, and now off the post. Team Dignitas gave it a good old go towards the end, but game 2 will go to Complexity. We are now tied 1 game apiece.
It's the first time Complexity's won a game by more than 1 goal all of this land for Season 5. They're able to keep it 2 goals up, and against Team Dignitas of all teams, we're seeing them get a little more physical. Dignitas, that is, a couple more bumps, a couple more demos, because they know how well Complexity can just spread across the field immediately and get the counterattacks, as Dignitas can as well. But you know, if you get that demolition, it really slows teams down. They really have to spend that extra second to realize, okay, now whose shoes do I need to fill? Who just got demoed and where? And where am I supposed to go? Where are they going to respawn? Do I need to go defense or offense?
I really do want to point out the stats on Magnus as well. 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 saves, and 3 shots. We said he's been stepping up this weekend, but it just seems like he's finding another level every single time he takes that stage.
Metzenaris was able to put in a 2nd goal, but again, I don't think it really matters for goals in this team.
Nope.
You see a lot of teams not really take roles in the current meta. They try and do heavy rotations. We know that's exactly how Dignitas plays. They try and go with perfect rotations. Throughout league play, they literally split across the board their saves and their goals. It was nearly 33% apiece, maybe by a couple of percent.
Well, I have spoken to some of these guys backstage, and they say that stats are for analysts and wins are for us. That's all they care about. As long as the goals are on their side, they don't care who gets a hold of them. As we're going to head into game number 3, Manfield will be the arena. Both these teams have taken a good old swipe at each other, but now it's time to see who can start to stabilize and set themselves up to try and take on NRG later on today. Infield pass immediately, but K-Dop's got no chance to run on. It's going to be a case of being too precise with some of the infield passes. Metzenaris straight back down. K-Dop just trying to be a little bit cheeky there against Metzenaris, and then he's going to give him a big old bump. How dare you stop my great plays?
Dignitas, high lobs and boost steal. They lob it all the way up, chase it just to put enough pressure on, then grab a corner boost while they're at it. So if they're looking at a weak touch from their opponents, then their teammates can come in and they'll slowly gain momentum.
Far side, Violent Panda just didn't quite seem to know what he wanted to do with that. And now, great opportunity to capitalize off the backboard. It's going to be uncontested for a long time, but Metzenaris is beat in the chase. And K-Dop, he just wants to blast that one away from his side of the field, get his team some time to sort themselves out. Magnus, that could drop down in a very good position, but a lot. Just waiting to see if the ball went off the ceiling, and it just didn't quite fall for him. Now we're from the middle. Violent Panda to K-Dop. On target, but Metzenaris pushes aside. Might put it a little bit too close to Violent Panda. Well, Telepulsar, I should correct myself. Magnus over the top, open net, off the post! Now to the other side of the field. Turbopulsar straight down, but a lot over the top. They're going to want to try and make a little bit better of this one. We've got K-Dop by himself, Violent Panda finally joining him at the back.
Notice how often Complexity will play keep away. They'd rather just try and pull those defenders out than taking shots. You can see how hard every clear is from Dignitas.
Just don't want to have to deal with any of the offense coming in from Complexity. Going to go far side a lot. Finds Metzenaris. Going to possibly go on target. K-Dop forced to save. Now Magnus all the way out. Uncontested. A lot off the post.
Tried to get it around K-Dop, who was slowly running out of boost. but he did cut off enough angles for a lot that forced him into the post.
Complexity just hitting the woodwork more often than not. Need to try and find some more accuracy for themselves. Violent Panda, pound control. A lot just doing so much work over in that corner, forcing every single player out from Dignitas to come and challenge him. Now K-Dop is up, he's on target. I feel like K-Dop would have actually liked to bounce that one off the backboard and then follow it up with a double tap. Just couldn't quite get it to sit for himself. Turbo, rather see that one back to K-Dop than allow anyone from Complexity to hit towards him. Now with control, Violent Panda, he's got an option around. Well, he hasn't got that option anymore. Straight down the middle. Finally, Complexity off the demo can start to move themselves out. Still 0 goals apiece. That's going to bounce off the wall. K-Dop can take the shot, but instead, looked like he was trying to bait somebody out. Now Magnus, with a lot, goes, tries to get it over! You pass to me, I'll pass it back, and you will score!
In these high-pressure situations, you'll always see people not know which option to go for. 2v1 situation, you should always win them, and Complexity will show you exactly how.
So calm under pressure. They recognized the situation they had, and they utilized it to the fullest extent. Now 100 seconds left. Dignitas looking for a way back into this matchup. There's a lot looking for a block. It's all the way to the far side. K-Dop just has to find the target, and he hasn't done so.
We saw this from K-Dop in day one, and it seemed like he had fixed it. But still, a couple of misses from him, but when his team really needs it.
Now back out. Magnus with the save. Turbo Pulsar and the rest of Team Dignitas can now start to swarm. They want to keep this over in the blue side of the field. A lot. Just gets swiped away there by the defender. Now looking to keep it going.
1 minute mark, and Dignitas want to hold that midfield line.
Turbo Pulsar straight back down. Let's try and build upon this. Time is running out for Team Dignitas. As you can see, Complexity keeping 2 players back, 1 player forward, consistently trying to block. And that is going to continue to work for them because that's the style they play all the time. It's not a contingency for them, that's just how they like to do it. So now to be a goal up and be able to have that as your best strategy is so good for them.
Here they come. Dignitas at the midfield.
All the way up. Nobody challenging.
They're
gonna come back out. Violent Panda! Just unable to find the target, but off the ceiling. Turbo Pulsar. This could drop very badly. K-Dop puts it high. Comes all the way out. Violent Panda might have the final chance here. He's laid it off to Turbo Pulsar. He's got 0 boost. The last chance is gone. Complexity 2-1 up.
Going back to their theme. 1 goal. It's okay. As you said, a win is a win. Dignitas there at the last minute. I love the way they were playing Complexity. They'd throw it their way, and then they wouldn't challenge it. So they think, hey, maybe we'll slow this down. But then they can't get it past the halfway mark because they're not doing the booming clears they're used to. Then they try and carry it out. But you know how good Dignitas is at their pre-jumps. It's something that I heard some players talk about. Actually, it was from a lot. A lot saying, I hate how well Dignitas is at pre-jumping. And then he looked at Turbo, he's like, you especially. He's like, I want to punch you every time I watch you do it. It's so frustrating to play against. So you can see Dignitas playing that to their advantage. They were throwing it in Complexity's half, putting it in their hands, and then they weren't challenging and say, go on, I dare you, come at us now. And they were holding that midfield line.
Well, I really think it comes down to what you were talking about earlier on when Complexity, they just boom the ball away, get forward and trying to steal whatever they can. If you want to pre-jump, guess what you need to do that? You need a little bit of boost on your side to help you recover, get back, or just continue on with the play. You can't do that with absolutely no boost. Complexity have got the strategy perfect so far.
5 shots apiece that game for each team, keeping it even.
2 games away from Complexity getting their rematch. We mentioned it earlier on, but they were the only team to ever bounce back from this position. And currently, they're in the driver's seat to do it yet again. Violent Panda watches Turbo Pulsar, just tries to put that one straight over the top. Magnus gets the pass out. Gonna be forced to try and chase here. It made Metanaris sweat a little bit more than he wanted, but now Dignitas looking to just put shot after shot. It's a shot blitz coming forward, but maybe they've committed too high. Rez is going to bounce straight out.
Dignitas just a little bit too antsy trying to come up and chase that down.
That is so scary as well, because Metz is looking at that, and he's just saying to himself, please don't roll up. But it came out nicely to him. And Metza, you know he can hear this crowd. They are loving it. Another early goal here. Straight back out. That's going to be a follow-up shot. Magnus able to get something from nothing, but now K-Dot finds himself one-on-one. Possibly opens up some space. He's going to put that one up high off the crossbar, and there's the follow-up. Magnus saving the lead.
Can't even talk about how close Dignitas is every single drive. The defense that Complexity is being forced to play.
Oh, no way! There's going to be the follow-up as well. How? How is that not in the net?
Almost no boost left for them. Off the backboard, trying to force out more defenders. There's the shot! Finally, K-Dot's able to put it in and tie up the game.
They took the sledgehammer and it took 3 big swings. But finally, the walls broke down. I've never seen such good saves in such a long time. But incredible heads up there from Dignitas. They did not give up on their shots. They didn't rotate back. They kept themselves going. And now we have got ourselves a tied game. And we've got ourselves 2 demos on the field. It's effectively a 2v2, but only for a momentary second. Up off the top, Metanaris tries to get away. Back out, Turbo Pulsar is blocked. Violent Panda going to try and take this ball the entire way. He wants to try and force the block, and he has managed to do so. Dump out as well. Poor a lot just being bullied. Should be easily dealt with. K-Dot wants to try and find someone, but he was challenged. Can't get it too much further away. Now Turbo Pulsar puts it onto the hood of Magnus. Both teams happy to just lay the ball as far away every single time. Who's going to be the one to take advantage here? It's K-Dot off the backboard. Follow-up chance, and there is Violent Panda. 2 goals to 1.
Being patient. They were much slower on deciding if they should make these challenges, but that touch from the corner, K-Dot was able to get there so fast. The defender barely got anything on it. He was in full control, and Violent Panda will seal the deal.
What I love about that goal is that Complexity were in the net. They were waiting for something from Violent Panda, but not even they predicted it was going to be that good. Unable to do a single thing. Now Complexity need to try and find one back. Start off this game so very well, but now it's starting to run away from them a little bit. There's a lot. There's that one very high. K-Dot. Big booming clear there from him.
A lot opting to take control. See if he can pull K-Dot into his half.
Ball, Turbo going to try and follow his own touch, but he has immediately blocked it back to double tap there. Not intentional. He's going to force Complexity into the defense.
Magnus will get there first.
Straight over to a lock, misses, and Metanaris just bumps the ball backwards. Might have actually helped out his team to not allow a counter-attack to come through from Dignitas.
Now Turbo's used a lot of his boost for that, and he wasn't able to snag the corner. He doesn't have a lot to help support his teammate now.
Oh, wow, Turbo Pulsar, good watch as Violent Panda managed to somehow get a block. Goals can come from almost anywhere, but 2-goal deficit could be dire for Complexity. They need to make sure they watch their back line as they push forward to try and tie us up. Now K-Dot tries to take on his hood, but he's immediately challenged from Metanaris. You can see the boa constrictor sort of style from Complexity starting to work up, but they have decided to get back after the poor touch. Now Magnus straight back down to Metanaris. Done it from the halfway line. It's going to be so hard to score from there. But it does keep the ball away from Dignitas, maybe only momentarily. Magnus forced to get away, and he also has to try and stop the block coming towards him, which he has managed to do. Back to the other side of the field. Violent Panda tries to keep the ball away, but this is going to be dangerous. Drops it down, but nobody from Complexity wants anything to do with that. 1 minute. Still 1 goal separating these 2 teams. Straight over. K-Dot gets the drop down. Turbo Pulsar Still managed to push it to the other side of the field. Violent Panda also trying to get there, but Magnus in front of everything right now, a brick wall.
Magnus up.
Straight down. K-Dot might have just set this up for Metanaris, but he's got Violent Panda there over in support. 30 seconds. Team Dignitas just have to hold on, but there's going to be a shot, just doesn't quite make contact.
Dignitas incredibly low on boost. Everyone underneath 20 right now.
There is Turbo, keeping it away. A lot just loitering behind the line. Wanted to see if someone could get a pass over to him. Maybe go for one of those signature backboard plays. From the corner. Magnus' tap up. Can be followed by a lot. Metanaris is trying to get to the far side. He's going to have to try and win a race, which he can't do. They've got to try and carry this such a far distance. I don't think they can. Team Dignitas will tie us up yet again.
2 games to 2 in this best of 7. I expect nothing left. Nothing less in this rematch. This is what we saw the first time they saw each other last Worlds. Went all the way to game 7. And Dignitas put Complexity down to the lowers. Now they meet each other in the lowers. There's no second chance here.
Honestly, the match that you're talking about was probably the best match that we saw in the whole of 2017. And to be completely honest, at current form, we might have a contender for the best match of 2018. Same teams. Different names on both sides, but the action is just the same.
Dignitas had a lot of control. Over 10 shots, the Complexity's only 4.
After all this work, we're effectively in a best of 3. Both teams have managed to execute on their strategies. It's just going to be a case of who can execute better. Complexity need to try and take more control of the field, but the entire case becomes they need to get clears without it being blocked by Team Dignitas. You're seeing every single time they try and boom it, there is someone right in front of their faces saying, no, you're not allowed to go anywhere. You are staying put. You're not allowed to move. We're going to continue to put the pressure on. Complexity, they've got to find a way out.
Both of these teams heavily reliant on assists. Coming into this match, Complexity had 88% assists per goal, and Dignitas had 90% assists per goal. Clearly team-based players.
All the way up. Turbo Pulsar. Straight up, Violent Panda can actually do something here, but he just couldn't quite get the faintest of touch. Pretty much had to catch it on the far side of his car, which is already difficult enough. There's a lot. He's got the option. Just gets blocked straight away. You can see the change right now. Teams used to be so happy to allow a lot to take that shot because, yeah, you're on the back post. How can you possibly not save? But now teams know you can't even let the shot go off. Get in front of it early. But there is a lot yet again. Uncontested this time. Off the crossbar. Complexity starting off very positively in game number 5. Now K-Dot with Violent Panda in support. Straight over the top. But nobody there. Turbo Pulsar is just loitering behind him. You can already see Team Dignitas trying to sort themselves out, but this time there are options around. Magnus right behind. What a flick! It's just about there! Any closer! And it would have been a goal.
The team play from Complexity. The short passes to each other.
Now to the far side. Violent Panda tries to get it over the top. Metzer tries to force the block, but there is K-Dot. He does manage to win it. That sets up Violent Panda to stay in a good position to put some offensive pressure on. Now Turbo Pulsar gets the flick! You might as well not be there.
The solo plays from Turbo Pulsar. A lot going for the demolition. Metanaris struggling on boost. He had nothing as Turbo was barreling down on him with a Batmobile nonetheless. The ball on top. You know those flicks.
Just a nightmare to everyone that's ever played one, seeing a Batmobile play with the ball on their hoods. Now a lot in the rest of Complexity looking to respond. Everyone from Dignitas already back here. That might open up some options for the infield. It's a 4 touch as well. This could be very bad as there's going to be a shot straight to the side. But Violent Panda still around, and what a deft touch that was. Silky smooth.
Just suffocating them out. Magnus on that backboard with 0 boost. The demolition on a Metanaris. A lot trying to retrieve boost from the corner. and Dignitas will make this a 2-goal lead.
Kappa, have you ever seen this many goals scored from plays started in the corner?
No.
It's usually infield. That's where we're so used to seeing things happen. But these teams are just making work when it goes over to that corner. Definitely a lot more creative than we've usually seen. There's a lot just leaving that one for his teammate. 2 goals to the better are Team Dignitas in our lower bracket finals. Now K-Dom all the way over to Turbo. Just puts that straight through the middle, but 2 players are committed. You know Team Dignitas are looking at that as their big opportunity to try and make this a 3rd goal to their betterment. Violent Panda, that's an awkward bounce. He's not going to be able to follow that, but Turbo Pulsar definitely wanted a piece. Has to go straight through the middle of 2 different complexity players.
Dignitas very confident and challenging, especially being 2 goals up. So complexity, want to ramp up the pace.
All the way back out. Well read there from K-Dom. Turbo Pulsar flicks straight over the top. Is anybody back to complexity? How fast can they set up this play? Not fast enough. Straight over the top. Violent Panda clears long. Now Metza wants to try and get this one back. Not quite there for the block. Here is a lot. Just pushes it straight to the corner. Maybe didn't feel that shot like it was going to be to his betterment.
Opting to move a defender oftentimes is going to be your better option.
All the way back down. Turbo tried to trap it against the floor, but couldn't quite do so. A lot on low boost. Going to be down to Magnus. A lot going to go to the far side to try and pick up something, which means there's going to be a little bit of time for Team Dignitas to take advantage.
It feels a little bit like complexity are falling apart on defense. Mestanares knowing he had to challenge that, even though the Dignitas player in the corner, Violent Panda, had full control. I mean, at least make him make a move, and hopefully he has support from the second defender. But the way they were positioned, maybe they're using a little bit too much boost trying to go from defense to offense, so they're always looking for that corner on the way back.
Awkward bounce, and a lot has been taken out, which means it's only going to be Magnus trying to rotate back. He does get there in time, though. Still, 3 goals is the difference with 1 minute remaining. So much work for complexity to do because Team Dignitas are on the verge of match point. Trying to keep possession of the ball. Might have been better off to just leave that one running to a different teammate. Now out, a lot. Tries to go infield, and he's going to get the pass off, but straight down the middle. K-Dot happy to take that save. Now 40 seconds, the time not on the side of complexity. As a lot goes long, Turbo Pulsar trying to cut off the pass. This is just a case of reading every single pass and trying to intercept. Now Violent Panda will make it 4.
Complexity being left with no choice. They know they have to go all in. Desperation when you're 3 goals down, 30 seconds left. Dignitas, of course, are going to punish when they have the opportunity.
I do have a question for you, though, Carper, because we're seeing this quite often from Complexity, where they go 2 goals down and suddenly it just starts to collapse from underneath their feet, where they just let in more and more goals. Are they committing to just going all in a little bit too early in games, where they continue to play their own style and maybe bring it back that way? What's happening with them?
I feel like they might be struggling a little bit on the patience of knowing when to take your attack, especially, as you said, when they have the pressure being 2 goals down, they push up to midfield so early. And you know how fast Dignitas can be on punishing. But then when they go to retreat, you see how much boost Complexity has to use? All of them have to use nearly everything, or at least 60 boost plus to get back. So then one person goes for net, someone's got to go for boost, and if there's a bump or a demolition on the third, they just fall apart from there. Their defense is going to struggle, and that's where you see these last-second saves coming from.
Well, it is match point now to Team Dignitas. Heard earlier on, Violent Panda taking umbrage to the words from Justin, saying that Cloud9 was the only threat in the tournament. You know they want to get there and try and make the North Americans eat their own words. But there's still a game away. This is what I like to see. We're seeing the professional players of Rocket League, they're starting to communicate more between games. A couple of seasons ago even, there was just silence. It was like they were just waiting for the next game to happen, but you're seeing that they are talking shop. They know what they need to do. They're making sure everyone is prepped for what is going to be another big match.
We noticed it throughout league play. The teams that adapted were always the one that thrived. Just because you can come in with a game plan doesn't mean it's going to work. Just because you think the opponents that you're up against aren't as good, sometimes their play style just makes what you do that much more difficult. And again, it's only about that last goal. So you can win every 50-50, but if you can't put a goal in that net, you will lose. communication between each game, and maybe just taking a little bit of time to breathe in the crowd.
You lot are awesome, I gotta say it. You lot are absolutely awesome. Right, maybe not that awesome. Game number 6. Dignitas on the verge. Off the backboard early. There's going to be K-Dop's opportunity. Off the crossbar. So close, but he's trying to get it straight out. Turbopulsar choosing better. But to try and move out for that. An opening goal here for Dignitas could be absolutely massive. And this could be the opportunity for it. Violent Panda right down the middle.
Early on off kickoff, Complexity got spread out. Had to use a lot of boost. Metzenaris trying to challenge that in the corner, being left alone. A lot in Magnus. Again, that first challenge off kickoff, they had to start spreading out. They wanted to try and cut it off at the midfield.
How will Complexity react? We know what we want them to do. We want to stick with their regular style. But it's just how early they'll break down into taking many more risks. This might drop down for a lot. As long as right there, great passing play to relieve the pressure from Complexity's defense. Just seeing so many lateral passes being used to try and disrupt offense that often wants to come forward and try and grab a block. Magnus almost back out, almost got himself yet another touch that would put it straight across the goal mouth. Now a lot. Over to the corner, trying to buy time. He's picked up boost. That does mean Magnus is probably going to be low. So a lot has to do a lot of work right now. He's taking the boost. That means he's taking the responsibility. And my goodness, has he done well with it. Finally getting the ball out. It's Turbopulsar. Flicks it up. Magnus is there. K-Dop. Just about there in time. A lot now. Following up his own touch. Wants to try and force the block. He's got it. Will bounce out. Follow-up touch just not good enough. Now Magnus will be against Turbopulsar at the back. Turbo with the shot up too high. The follow-up though from K-Dop. Just a little bit too close. Now Mog. Trying to follow, but he's got absolutely no resources available to him. A lot moving forward. K-Dop does just slam it into his teammate. Just not enough boost on the side of Complexity. They couldn't keep that offensive going for as long as they would have wanted.
Whatever rustiness we thought Dignitas had, seeing K-Dop waver in that game earlier in the series, clearly they have polished it off. We have not seen a bad touch from them in quite some time.
K-Dop really was the worry heading into this day. But right now, he is playing to a different level. Oh my goodness, those two shots could very well spell the end of this series. But now a big clear. Turbopulsar, he's got time to deal with this. And he will take it. Nobody from Dignitas wanting to turn around and try and play the ball. They want everyone behind this goal line. They want everyone behind to try and stop whatever play Complexity want to put together. But now Violent Panda, he's around, couldn't quite get the touch to put it straight down. K-Dop though, gets himself a little bit of time. That's Norris off the wall to Magnus. A lot is on the backboard, but nobody wants to let him take a touch.
Dignitas confident in a two-man defense. They always have that third man up in it. Again, their rotations, why they're so strong, any of the players on Dignitas.
And this is the sort of time that we start to get worried for Complexity, is now where they start to take more risks. Metzenaris will turn himself around. He's got a lot as an option. Turbopulsar will challenge him up in the air, and he's faster. Yet again, every single time Complexity try to launch, they are being beat to the ball. And it is all down to the boost management and the boost control that we are seeing from Dignitas. Now Magnus straight down, a lot. Rotating back, 90 seconds for Complexity to save their tournament lives. Violent Panda just booms it away, and on target yet again. Magnus keeps the minute. Now Far, a lot. Doesn't want to go for this one. Two players upfield now currently for Team Dignitas, looking for that second and just stolen away at the final second. A lot with another booming clear, but they have got nobody to counter-attack. They've got no one in position. A lot all the way back. They're trying to start from square one to get that one big opportunity that could even up the scoreline.
The pressure from Dignitas is just too much. Every time you see Complexity try and push out, they have no support, they have no more boost. because Dignitas can somehow play defense so confidently and still always have somebody poised for a strike.
And they're reading it so well. Every pass intercepted, every dribble blocked. Complexity just haven't managed to find a way through the armor. And that's going to be a shot. That could be Kadoff saying goodbye.
29 seconds remain. Complexity looking at elimination.
And they've got smiles on their faces now. Dignitas, it looks like they think they've got the job done. Complexity need to bring out one of eSports' biggest miracles if they are to do this. The crowd trying to rally them. Magnus plays lock, needs a double tap, isn't there. Turbo, never clear, blocked, but Kadoff already around. There's gonna be a attempted flick, not quite there though, but 10 seconds remain. Shot, not on target. Violent Panda's second attempt though, isn't there. But it seems like the time has run out as another block happens. Complexity, valiant to the end.